Well, good morning everybody, and it is the Sunday before Christmas, so happy pre-Merry Christmas to everybody. I hope everybody has gotten all their last minute shopping done and all their needs and their orders. I still have a couple of things that I'm waiting to come in, and I hope we have Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, and Thursday morning, so hopefully my stuff will come in because it's all my husband's stuff. I ordered 3 little things for him, and if not, I'll print off the picture and put it in a little box or something and say it's coming and this is what it is, because everybody likes to have a little something to open for on Christmas, even though I do have a couple other little things for him. But the fun things are kind of like practical things. We're kind of pretty practical for holidays and gift giving, and try to give a few little fun things and whatnot. So I hope everybody has got everything done, or like me, patiently waiting, crossing your fingers that it's going to come in. So, and this is the season to get all of our pretty Christmas ware. This is my mom's Christmas china that she gave me, and it's the only china I have. Back in the day, I used to have a real lovely china set, but I left that with my boys' dad so that he would have it for the holidays and whatnot, because I had my mom's Christmas china, and that was kind of the big holiday when we got the fancy stuff out for my family. So their dad has the other set of china, which one of the boys will inherit someday down the line. When they get married and have a family, then it will move on to them. But I don't use I won't use the china otherwise, just Christmas time, because there's a small enough number of us to use the china. And if there's any other get-togethers, there's so many of us, I wouldn't have enough china for everybody anyway. So I like my everyday wear. I have a nice set of Corelle, and it has the ivy leaves all around it. So, and then I do have a few Christmas pieces of that too. So that's it. I don't want to use. I'm not a china person anymore. I use paper plates for vast amounts of people, and the Christmas holiday is the only time when it's smaller gatherings. Or in the summer, it's up north, and of course you're not going to use china up north. So I hope everybody's using all of their pretties. Take them out and use them. I used to be the type that had all this really nice stuff, and I pack it away, and it was up in my china cupboard and up in my, packed away in cupboards and stuff. And it's all in pristine, lovely condition because it was my grandmother's or my mother's, and they didn't use it because they wanted to keep it for nice. And my mom was pretty good about it. She would take her stuff down, but you always knew Mom had the good stuff out there. Everybody was very, very careful with it. But I take everything out, and I used everything because what are you waiting for? I said I'm like the 3rd generation. I think I even have some stuff that was my great-great-grandmother's yet that everybody packed away, unless it's something so fragile. But anything can break, doesn't matter if it's brand new or fragile or not. I believe in using it because that's what stuff is for, isn't it? To use it. So I take all my pretty china and crystal and all that type of stuff, or even if I have some nice, really nice glassware sets, I use them if it's practical. I have some that are extremely, extremely thin. I feel like they'd crack or break if you used them. I don't take them out, but pretty much everything else I do because I believe in using that stuff. It's been waiting for three to 4 generations. Why not use it? I only have 2 sons, and hopefully they'll get married someday or have a significant other. But who knows if their wives are going to want this, and I could be the end of the line. I think my younger son's pretty good. I think he's going to probably always stay local, and he kind of has it meaning, things have meaning to him. My older son's that way, but I think he might be more mobile, and who knows where he's going to end up later in his life, whereas my younger son, I think, will always stay like local. So he'll probably get a lot of it. But like I said, are they going to want it? Are their wives going to want it? Their wives might have their own family stuff. So then here all this stuff is, and then it goes off to, which is so sad. And that's where I have gotten some of my stuff too. The families come and clean at the parents' or grandparents' house or whatever, and they take it to Salvation Army or a thrift store or have an auction. So I believe in using it. So use your family's stuff and pass it down, because that's the memories, and you have the memories of while you're using it, and then you kind of reminisce about them. I like that too. So anyway, yep, everything's ready to roll for the holidays. I got that done, and then, as you know, if you previously sat and had coffee with me, we have a very low-key Christmas, and Christmas Day. My puppies are in here and they're panting, and I even turned the heat off a little bit, even though it's cold outside, because they were so hot, because everybody's running around doing stuff. So she's okay. She's just over there a little hot. I don't even know if you can hear that. But anyway, so I only have a couple games left in the house. I have, I think, Monopoly, and I'll play Monopoly, but it takes forever. I'm just not patient, and it's just not as, then you start making up your own rules, and then you're starting to lend people money because you feel bad. I don't think you're supposed to do that. So we have Monopoly, but I thought I want something fun, and we have Sorry, but you only have 4 people, and we have more. And we have some trivia games and stuff, but I thought, let's get something new. And this is a game, we were out shopping and stuff. Goes, Mom, we used to play that all the time when we were young. And we don't have the game. So, and they had this really neat, it's the Retro series, Clue Edition. And I love this because it's the Retro series, 1986, which totally kills me that 1986, or the 80s in fact, are considered retro or vintage. But they are, because how many years ago was that? Yeah, it's sad. I don't want to add it up. I know what year I graduated high school. So anyway, this is the Clue Retro 1986 series vintage board game. It's the 1986 edition, full-size game board based on the 1986 game. Alright, fine, it's vintage. Vintage inspired. That's what I love. You know, people, I see some of the clothes that are coming out right now, they're kind of in Target's big push. I'm like, wasn't that stuff that was big in the late 80s or early 90s? I can't quite remember. And I see the big, bold, black and white checkered, and I'm like, oh, it's coming back around again. That makes you feel really old. You know, I dressed in my, on the weekends I'm usually dressed in some 40s and 50s and 60s stuff. You know, that's vintage to me, but it's so funny, the older you get, the generation below you starts to look at your stuff as the vintage stuff. I know. Makes you feel kind of old, don't it? Should have kept all that stuff from the 80s, but I'll tell you what, there wasn't anything from the 80s that I wanted to have kept. I was trying to think, what was I into in the 80s? Michael Jackson, Cyndi Lauper, Madonna. Not really great fashions, not really great haircuts either. It was the last of the premieres, and then some of the crazy haircuts and stuff. So, yeah, I guess it's vintage, whatever. So anyway, enough of that chit-chat about my vintage Clue game, which is to me, and Christmas and stuff. So it's the countdown. Our clinic closes at noon on Christmas Eve, which is nice because some businesses don't and some people have to work. So I'm very fortunate that happened. And then Christmas Day, of course, we're closed. Emergency room is open for emergencies. So got everything ready to roll. I got all of my stuff. I'm having a brunch, a little larger brunch. No dinner, Christmas dinner this year. So we're doing a really good, I found this recipe for a Tex-Mex egg bake. It's eggs and hash browns and some salsa and whatnot. We're having that. And I've never made an egg bake. You know, I don't know, I just never have. I made like egg scrambles, and I've made omelets and stuff like that, or like even like breakfast burritos. But I've never made like a 13×9 egg bake ever in my life. It's crazy. People do them all the time. So I'm going to do it. It's one you can make up the night before and then you can bake it the next day. Love that. But there's a 12-hour window, so I kind of got to watch. So I'll probably put it together before I go to bed Christmas Eve when we come back from working down at the tavern. And then I'm also making something else. And oh my Lord, I just remembered I did not pick up. I will get it this week. I don't have a bundt pan because I don't make bundt cakes. I hardly make a cake, period. But I'm going to make that monkey bread, it's called. And there's different names for it. But it's with the quick flaky biscuits, and you quarter them up and you put them in them with brown sugar and, not brown sugar, sugar and cinnamon, mix it all together, put it in this bundt cake pan. I'm sure a lot of you are like, yeah, we all know about that. Well, I've had it before, and I didn't realize how easy it was to make. So look at the recipe. And then it has that caramel yummy glaze. So that will be our Christmas brunch, is on that egg bake, and then I bought some nice thick cut at the butcher. Spent a little bit of money. Oh, they're $6.99 a pound, but it's Christmas, it's special. So we're having the egg bake, and we're having bacon, and then we're going to have that monkey bread, and then we're just having ham sandwiches and snacks in the afternoon, so it's going to be a very relaxing day for everybody. So we're going to play our games, and there's another game that, it's not a game, somebody at work, and you probably have heard this, I haven't, it's called Scramble Squares. And the squares are about yay big. I don't know, what is that, 4x4, and it's 9 puzzle pieces, and a girl brought it to work, Scramble Squares, or Scramble Puzzle, and it's a puzzle of all these different pictures. It could be like a bunch of birds, it could be a bunch of bears, it could be a bunch of whatever the subject matter, 8 million different subjects out there. And it's a puzzle, 9 pieces, and then you have to get this, and you know the bears aren't just like lined up, they're like, bears are this way, that way, they're all over, construed all over the place. And you have to put these, and I'm like, somebody brought that to work, and she goes, oh, it took my family. Kelly brought it to work, and she said it took them several hours to do it. I'm like, several hours, what were you guys? And she goes, we were visiting and talking and stuff, and I thought, that looks easy, it's 9 pieces, how can you not get that together, like, whoosh, you know? It was hard. The girls started it at her little, we had a little lunch. Dr. Tashin was very nice and bought us a little lunch. And they were doing it at the lunch break. And they couldn't get it within the hour of the lunch break. And I think some girls might have went down later and tried. And Kelly's family did get it together. And she did take a picture of it to show, like, oh, we did it. But it is just amazing how those 9, it's kind of like, you know, the Rubik's Cubes. I could never do those in a million years. I was happy if we got, like, 2 sides on those things. So my cousin Christy's going to stop at a game shop, and I had ordered one, but I don't know if it's going to be here in time for Christmas Eve. And my cousin Christy's going to stop at a game shop on her way through, or this weekend. I think she might have done that. I can't remember what it was. And pick one up, because that looks like a hoot. You know, I cannot fathom how 9 pieces take so long to put together. And I'm sure it works on some type of mechanism in your brain where you're thinking you see something goes a certain way and then it doesn't. And the girls, I think, had it down to where they had it almost complete, and then the one last piece didn't fit or something. Oh, so I thought that would be really fun, you know, and that can be participatory with everybody. And then this game, because you gotta, certain games you gotta have teams, and I hate to have that. I hate to do the team thing because sometimes somebody doesn't want to be stuck with somebody for the team. So it's nice to have like individual play like this Clue game. And I'll tell you what, I have never played the game of Clue. The boys had the game down at their dad's house, and we didn't have it here. We had a bunch of other stuff, but we never had the game of Clue. I've heard about it for years, never played it. I'm like, oh, is it fun? And Seth goes, yeah, it's really fun. I saw the movie Clue that they made, which was hilarious, old comedy that they made based off of this board game. But I've never played it, so that would be fun, something fun and new, and the boys know how to play it, so it's always nice to have somebody who kind of knows how to play it so they can kind of guide. But always read the instructions. It makes it a lot easier and less arguing and bickering. So anywho, that's what's going on with my Christmas this week. And for you ladies who are shoppers or thrift shoppers, not thrift store shoppers, but thrifty shoppers, it is the season of clearance, because I've noticed that Target has already started to mark stuff down for clearance time. And I don't know if you can see it, but behind me is a dress I got from ModCloth. And no, I didn't need a new clearance. I bought it because it was cute. I thought it was cute, and it was 50% off. And it's kind of like a little 50s flare dress. And I don't know if you can see what the pattern is, but it's black and white. It's ice skates. So I thought that's something that you can wear all winter long. And then wear it with a pair of black. Of course, it's short sleeve and you'll freeze to death, so I have like 3 or 4 little black cardigans. I'll wear a little cardigan over it, and black tights and shoes and stuff, so I'm going to wear that on Christmas Eve. And then Christmas Day is Jamma Day, so I'm going to worry about that. But ModCloth had a bunch of stuff that was 50% off, and if you spent a certain amount, then you got free shipping. So I got 2 lovely dresses. One was 50% off and one was 60% off, and the other one's going to be like either fall or winter, fall or springy. You know, so it's not even that I would wear this winter, but it was only like $40-some. I think this one was 50-something, the other one was 40-something. So super good deals. And right now everything's clearance, and like after Christmas, if you want to hit the stores, but then it's just crazy. Things will be on clearance now, but Target has a lot of their like really cool funky jewelry on clearance right now. I got this cute little not bracelet, it's a little necklace. And that cute, I got that like for $4-something, and it's more springy, but that's alright. Put it away, I'll wear it in the spring. And then this one I thought was very festive. Isn't that cute? I just love that. And it's kind of got that vintage feel to it, real chunky and vintage. And then this one was only $5.98. Thank you very much. And then I got this cute chunky bracelet that goes with a vintage pin and earrings I got, and that was like $4.48. So start shopping your clearance stuff now, because like this type of stuff, like it was very picked over already and there's only a few pieces left. So start hitting end caps, start thinking clearance stuff now. and stuff gets wiped out right away. I've noticed it used to be that you could go and there'd be stuff left in the stores way after Christmas. People are getting smarter and starting to hit all the clearance stuff right away now and getting all that stuff because it gets picked over and wiped out pretty quick. So I kind of started like looking, keeping my eyes open now for stuff. It's starting to get marked down. So that stuff was like kind of, I think they're fall or summery stuff. So they're trying to get rid of that stuff because they're going to have the Christmas stuff pretty soon. And before I forget, because I'm rattling on like I usually do, I wanted to thank Samantha because Samantha was very sweet and she sent me this cute little Christmas card because remember I told you that I'm not doing Christmas cards and I've gotten a few, but I like getting them, but I wish I was better about, but I'm realistic. I know who I am, so I will do like every other day I'll put a little Christmas, Merry Christmas with little pictures of her family on there, and that will be my Christmas card this year. But anyway, her family is originally from Hawaii, and I have been trying to practice this, and she sent me this little thing, and it says, Merry Christmas and a Happy New Year, and she wrote it in Hawaiian, and I wish I was going to try it, and I had practiced and practiced, and I was going to say it to everybody this morning for coffee, but I'm not gonna even try because I would just hack it up and it would just be awful, and I don't want to do that because it looks like it would say very beautiful, but not the way I would say it. So I'm just going to show you because it looks kind of neat. I love to look at different writings and stuff and see if you can kind of decipher from that language what the word would be in English. But anyway, so I will show you that. If I hold it right here, you can kind of see it. Yeah, I would just butcher that, and it looks so lovely, and I don't want to. So that was very nice for the Christmas card, and I might have to Google it and see if I can get some on some channel or something that I can hear it. And so you know how you try to sound stuff out, but the phonics of that language might not be the same phonics of English, so I don't want to hack it up. So thank you very much, Samantha, for the lovely card. That was so nice of you. I appreciate that. And I don't want to hack that up, but that was so nice because I like to learn new little things and stuff, and I think everybody does, you know. So thank you very much. And my little, trying to cut my coffee cools down faster so I can drink some this morning with you. And then what are some of the other signs of the season? I'm sure all the shopping and everything's getting ready. Everybody's getting up their last minute stuff. And this is another one. I don't know. And maybe a lot of people don't like it, but I like it. And I'm just going to talk about something that gets a bad rap. I think it gets a bad rap in the holiday season. You may agree with many people, but I like it. It's the only time of year. And it's like unhealthy. All it is a great big thing of sugar, but I like it. I like to have it with a nice hot cup of coffee, and then I will have several little slices, and I'll do a little dollop of whipped cream on the side because sometimes they're kind of a little bit dry. And what is she talking about? Well, I'll tell you what gets a bad rap, and I love it. It is fruitcake. I love fruitcake. I don't buy a great big one. I just buy this little teeny one because nobody else in my family will eat it. People don't like citron and that type of stuff, but you can buy ones, and this one, like the #1 ingredient on it, I will read it, is like raisins. You know, so you don't have to get the ones that are, because some of them are very citron-y, and I think that is some type of a melon, and it must be a cheap melon, because some fruit cakes you get, it's mostly, and that stuff is kind of, I'll agree with you, that citron, is that the name of it? I may be completely off there. Citron. I don't know. But it's some type of a melon that they put in most fruit cakes, and then there's usually a lot of it. And you're right, it doesn't taste the best, but I found that I can find fruit cakes that are like mostly, like this one's mostly nuts and raisins and dates and a little bit of citron in it. So it doesn't have so much in it, and it's lovely. It's a nice, dense, nutty, fruity. How can you not like it? So just stop putting down my fruit cake because I like it. And I only buy a little one because if I bought a big one it would be good, because I think I'm the only one. Some people might have one little bite and I'll say, yeah, I ate it and that's enough. So I won't even get through this whole thing, and I'll just get to the point where I'll unfortunately throw it out. Because it is, how many slices? This is what's so bad about fruit cake, because it's such a dense little cake that a serving size is 5 little squares. You can see that it's not, you know, like really big around. They're like, oh, but each of those little teeny squares has 125 calories. But you may have 5 because that's what the serving size is. Or about 100 calories, I'm sorry. 110 maybe or something like that. So you could have 500 and, oh Lord, Total fat grams, 16. There's no trans fats. That's awesome. My cholesterol's up, right? 30 milligrams of cholesterol. So it's not healthy, but I will do a little treat. Even though I'm watching my weight and I'm losing a few pounds extremely slowly because I'm not doing a very good job of it, I will eat my fruitcake because it's a tradition to me. I know my Grandma Bean always liked to have fruitcake. Not a lot of people like it, but Grandma Bean always liked her fruitcake. So it kind of reminds, if I have that, it always reminds me of my Grandma Bean. So that's all that's going on with me this week. Just Christmas stuff, wrapping it all up, getting it all done, getting stuff set up for the week, low key, and then that's about it. And then we're going to be looking, next weekend we'll be going into the new year. This week is the winter solstice, which I believe is the 21st or 22nd. Can't quite remember the date of that, which means it's the first official day of winter. And our days will be getting longer. We will start getting more sunlight, which will be lovely. We have the cold weather right now, but we have, looking outside, it is bleak and brown and nothing on the trees, and it's just dry and it looks so sad. I mean, it's not dry, it's kind of muddy in some spots, so we've gotten some water, but now at least that is frozen. But there's no, I want snow for Christmas. I love snow. Just a nice dusting would be, I'd be happy with that. That would be a lovely Christmas present, but it's just kind of bleak and dry. But what do you do? I mean, I guess you should be happy because then we can get to point A to point B and stuff, which we need to do. Because that's the big thing in the Midwest, where it's the holidays and it's winter time. Can you get to where you need to go? I've had some times where I've been late to work, or I live on a county road and I live on a dead end off a county road, and the main county road has been plowed, and I can see it's plowed, but the dead end road that I live on that goes to the county road is not plowed, and I cannot get to the county road. And I have had to call people and say, hey, if you could come and get me, I'll boot up, and if you want to pick me up on, so I've had somebody pick me up to get to work because my car before this one was a Cadillac, which was a very heavy, low to the ground, and I got it stuck at the end of the driveway, and that is where it's at. And people came and picked me up. Now with my Suburban, Seth's Suburban that he gave me, I'd be able to get anywhere I go, but I got to remember too, we have a downward sloped driveway. Just got to remember when you see bad weather on the horizon or hear about it, always back the vehicle in, so at least then I could put it in four-wheel drive and I can, no excuses to be late or not get to work now, I guess. So everybody have a lovely Christmas Eve and Christmas Day, and have a lovely time visiting with all your family and enjoying all the festivities. And if you don't believe in Christmas or holidays, it's still a time for gathering and getting around and seeing friends and family anyway. So get out and about and do that, because sometimes this time of year everybody kind of goes into hibernation mode, and you don't get out. Even if it's not winter where you are, it's not cold where you are, it just seems that it's that time of year, and it's just kind of that seasonal kind of slowing down of everything. You kind of got to get motivated to get out and do things and see people, so please do so. Enjoy the end of December. I will have coffee with you next weekend, which will be the weekend before New Year's Eve, which I have absolutely no plans for. I'm going to hold tight. Might be on call to work, but hopefully not. I don't think so. I think usually my New Year's Eves are spent at home with a nice little bottle of champagne and my puppies, and watching the ball drop down at midnight in Times Square. So everybody have a lovely Christmas, enjoy the holiday season and December wherever you are. Until we see you next time and have coffee next time. Take care, everybody.